Hi, Dr. Hayes. My name is Gabrielle Jordan, and I'm really excited to be in your class. So for the digital literacy narrative, I'm starting with my high school memories. I remember my art and English and history teacher the most. When I think about the teacher I want to be, like want to emulate, I think of my English and history teacher because of all the passion that they had for their subject and for their students. And I also think of my art teacher because she was the one that pushed me um, farther than I thought I could go. I wrote notes. With art, I can't really remember how she taught academic language. It might have been quick notes, but I was naturally inclined to pick up the academic vocab and concepts really easily. I do remember a little formal assessment during finals because I was really proud of a portion. It was asking us to color something in different color schemes, and I was just really proud of myself. I thought I went beyond what was asked, and so that's the only real formal assessment I remember in art. And I frankly don't really remember notes or how we learned the academic language, but I believe we did something. Yes, and my understanding of literacy is that it's like each subject and is and has its own language. Music is often compared to another language because it is literally a reading of symbols, but this is true of all subjects, I feel. A science report would be different than an English essay. Art is interesting because there isn't always a lot of reading or writing, but there is academic language that aid in literacy. Equally, if not more important, is the literacy through the skill. People who don't have art literacy have most likely never worked with paint or any other art materials like that, and they usually have a really difficult time manipulating the materials. They don't understand how it works, how the physicality of it can be maneuvered. This would be like me in sports. I don't have that physical education literacy. Firstly, I do not know the academic language. Second, I don't know how to move my body. As far as physical education, as far as physical sports. Growing up, my parents always read to us, although through school, all through school, I loved when teachers spent time reading to us. I was in AP classes, but I am a slow reader. Goodman mentions that this upbringing helps build a good foundation for a literate lifestyle. Seeing others read and write is the demonstration road to literacy, as Goodman coined, because children often imitate the adults in their life. In her article, she talks all about how there's not just one road to literacy. Everyone's experience and exposures are different, and which is something to consider as a teacher, and trying to improve the students' literacy. Try to improve their concept of the literacy in your subject. Draper explains that literacy has often been taught outside of any specific topic or subject, but as a concept in itself. This goes on to talk about the importance and ways education can implement literacy in the subject, in their specific subject. For myself, outside of academic vocab and learning skills, I can teach the students. I will teach them literacy in artist statements and how artists use their words in their art. It would look different than a science report, look different than an essay, English essay. It's just different literacies. So growing up, literacy belonged to English class, but there is so many topics to be literate about, and I think to myself, if I don't know much about that concept or subject, that I am illiterate in that area. I think literacy does not have to be just reading and writing, but we need to show that to our students and show them the literacy in your own subject. All right, thank you.